My parents came to Klamath Falls in the early 1920s. Daddy was teaching at Oregon State, and so they sent him down here. And he was a county agent for 40 years and really built the whole agricultural industry. There were 50 schools in Klamath County. They were all sort of one-room schools. And so they were trying to consolidate them. He decided if he went to the University of Oregon and found someone to come down and teach music, everybody would be happy again. So it was my mother that he found, and she came down, drove all over this county. The first day that she went out on the job, she drove a Model T Ford.
We moved up to Oregon in 1946 in September. It used to be a big city. When I first came, I think it was the fourth largest city in the state of Oregon. And I started school at Fremont Junior High School, and that was on the corner of 7th and Pine Street. And we lived right there by the Esquire Theater. So I did go there quite often for movies. It was great because it was only 6 years old, I think, at the time that I moved here. And it was new, and it was a place to go and meet people. And even some of my friends were worked at the Esquire Theater as ticket takers or whatever, you know.
The Esquire was built in 1940, and there was a company that built both the Tower Theater and the Esquire Theater. It opened in 1940, and the show was The Westerner with Gary Cooper. I had a very close friend. We came every Saturday, and we either went to the Esquire Theater or we went to the Pelican Theater and saw movies. I started getting involved in things, and then Joanne moved to town.
I've lived in Klamath 52 years. This used to be the old Esquire, and they were going to tear it down. The Ladies Community Lounge used to be where the office is now. And they wanted to stay here, and they didn't want the theater to be torn down. So the Ladies Community Lounge was really one of the very first that paid for the old Esquire and then turned it over to the city. And so we formed a committee, and I was on the committee, and Jean was on the committee too. We had a lot of community members, and we met every week at the City Hall and talked about what we were going to do and renovate it into a theater, a performing arts center. We started raising the money. We hired an executive director and opened with the local music man.
The 80s were wonderful years. I was working at the time in the banking industry and enjoyed every minute of that. And we were kind of the sponsors of some of the shows. Our bank put together a whole program for the theater. We did the ushering, we did the ticket taking, we did all of those things to put the performance on. That was kind of an exciting and memorable time. I still do that a little bit at a time. I usher there, and I do some volunteer work, which I love to do too. But maybe I'm crazy a little bit too.
We have this wonderful tower here that came off of a theater, the old Tower Theater. And we got lights of the theater and light the tower now, and you can see it as you come into Klamath. So it's kind of a light that shines over Klamath all the time.
And it really is a beacon in this town. I think when I go and I sit in the theater, and I go there often, it's a very warm feeling because it has touched so many, many lives. It's touched the people in the audience, it's touched the people that are acting on stage. We have amazing talent in this community, and here is a place that people have a chance.
Those people are so dedicated that work for the theater. They are dedicated, they have something that they can be proud of.
If you've lived for 91 years, you have seen television come in, you have seen the airplane come in, you have seen, yes, and the growth of Klamath Falls has been amazing.
It's just a great community of people that work together to achieve everything together.
It's been a wonderful journey through all these years to be here in Klamath Falls and know all the people and the culture. I think that I'd like to stay here as long as I can.